guys, HD's found that wildebeest again. That's great news. Get back there, because that is something that you can once again spend years in the bush and never see. So enjoy it, and we'll speak in a bit.
We're about to go live, guys. Yeah, you're right. Okay, folks, we found her. She did walk into that vegetation, and now she's just come back out. Now, it's very hard to describe. You can see some movement just behind that foliage there. You might see a tail flick up, or you might see her roll over. She's just stood up, and she may come back out. You can still see the little hooves sticking out there, so we haven't missed it. I thought we had lost it. She might be coming back out, but she's lying back down again. She's coming back out. So she's coming back over here, which is quite extraordinary to think that we thought we'd lost her. Now she's walking towards us. You can just see her through that gap there. The wind's really starting to pick up here, folks, so I'm going to have to get quite close to the microphone, and you will feel a little bit of wind on the mic, but there's nothing I can do about it in this situation. I really want to stick with this situation here, this scene, this beautiful scenario that's unfolding before us. See, this is the position she was in last time, before she got up and walked into that vegetation. It's the same location where she laid down and did a couple of those contraction rolls. She's just through there. She's right behind, she's doing those contraction rolls again. We're just going to stay right where we are, folks, and let her do her thing. We're not going to... We're on a very long lens here, so we are about probably 50-60 meters away from her, and as you can see by all the other animals around here as we've driven up, they're completely relaxed. We're doing this with great respect, and there's no way in the world we would harass her or put any pressure on her. This is where I want to be able to speak wildebeest again, and just ask this little friend of ours in front to take 2 steps to the left, if that's okay, please. Right behind behind this animal now. Okay, one animal's moved off, another one just moved into shot. What do they say? Never work with animals or children, don't they? So she's standing up now, still in the same position. Just having a look through the binoculars here. Just laid down again behind that vegetation. A lot of wind at the moment, folks, where we are in this open area. She's laying down on the side at the moment. I'll talk you through this, folks. If you can't see the detail, I can tell you now that there's much more legs showing now. Much more of the calf's legs are out. There we go. You can see those little tiny little ears popped up there. Can you see that little head shaking ever so slightly behind there? Can you see that little head shaking? There we go. Little ears popped out. She's moved right behind that vegetation now. She's going to walk around a bit. She's laid down the other way. Rolling a little bit more. It's nearly out. Just going to creep up. It's absolutely fine, I promise you. Just going to creep up here. She's given birth. Everything's fine. And we have ourselves a new little wildebeest on the planet, folks. Wow. How beautiful is that? That is an incredible thing, folks. Well done to everyone who was patient enough with me. I definitely have had very fortunate to see a lot of this happen in captivity. So the whole protocol is to make sure your distance is kept and your respect level is huge in this situation, and particularly in the wild, where you do not want to put any pressure on the animal whatsoever. Excuse me, Mr. Zebra, can you just move on, please, Mrs. Zebra, please? That's fantastic, folks. That's absolutely fantastic. Wow. As far as I'm aware, that's the first live birth we've seen on WildEarth, according to the guys in the control room, and it's been an absolute privilege to do that with you. It feels so good to see that happen, and for us to witness that. The zebras are like, okay, we've got to see this little guy stand up. So remember what I said about, look at this, less than 2 minutes, 3 minutes. He's trying. It's trying. Between 3 and 7 minutes the wildebeests are famous for, and look at this. The little guy is definitely trying. He's trying. Come on, little guy. Come on. You can do it, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Come on. I love how the other wildebeest and calf have come over to watch what's going on. Come on, little guy. Nearly there. Whoa, nearly. Oh, he's nearly there. He was halfway there then. Come on, buddy. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Fantastic. Isn't that magic? Oh, wow. That's a beautiful thing. What a magical moment, folks. I'm so happy that we could bring you this live from South Africa, from the magnificent Djuma Game Reserve in Sabi Sand, South Africa. A live birth on live broadcasting, live streaming to you on Safari Live. It just is an absolute privilege. I'm just getting some messages from the control room, folks, and they're giving me some information that we believe that this is the first live wildebeest birth in the world, which is a pretty extraordinary thing. We're not going to take that claim or anything, but that's the sort of information I'm being fed at the moment from the guys in the control room, and I have to say, if that's the case, well, we're pretty proud of that, because that's what Safari Live is all about. It's all about bringing you it as it happens, and the raw, real, honest portrayal of the African bush. And boy, did we see it this morning. I love zebra, but at this point in time I would really like those zebra just to get out of the shot, because they're just being a little bit hogging the shot. I know they love the camera, zebra, but oh, isn't he fantastic? He's going down to try and have a little bit of a suckle from his mum, and I think he's having success. That's his first drink from his mum. Isn't that brilliant? And he'll start to look like that other one on the left of the screen at the moment. He'll dry off, and his mum will clean him up and tidy him up, and when he gets dry he'll get that really lovely light fawn colour. But look at that. After 8.5 months gestation, she's just given birth to her calf. And between, it was about 4 to 5 minutes, he got to his feet, or she got to her feet, whatever the sex is of the calf. And in about 2 days' time, it'll have the strength to keep up with its mum and the rest of the herd, and hopefully grow up to be a big, chunky wildebeest like they are, and fit into this beautiful, beautiful environment. So he's definitely gone in there for his first drink. Just amazing, absolutely amazing stuff. It does really ground you and starts to give you a bit of a nice little reality check about life and the planet. And when you sit here and watch things like that, you really do start to get a better picture of how it all works. And without going into, you know, the circle of life type of thing, I really do want to just share with you, that's quite a special moment for me to be able to be witness here with you, and I'll never forget that. Never forget that. Really beautiful moment. An hour and a half we've been with this mother, and we've now seen exactly what we waited for. I was so worried when she walked into the vegetation there that we were going to not witness this, and then when she came back out, it was like, oh, there's a big sigh of relief, that's for sure. Nature is a pretty incredible thing, folks. Absolutely incredible thing. Folks, I'm not sure whether you would like to stay or go. I want to give you the option, as I would give everyone on the back of the vehicle, whether they would like to sit and watch this for a bit longer or whether you'd like to move on. So please tweet us. You can send us a tweet and give us a bit of an indicator, and we'll do a little bit of a tally to see who wants to keep watching. Send us an email or a tweet and we can tally up some numbers and see what we should do. But I'm happy to do anything you want. Definitely happy to stay here and watch, but also if you would like to move on, we can do that too. So we'll have a little look at that over the next few minutes and see what you think. And but in the meantime, we'll just watch these beautiful pictures of this young wildebeest calf that's just been born in front of our very eyes, suckling from its mum, and an incredible experience for all of us, I think, for VM and I, for everyone watching, and yeah, a great privilege for us to be bringing you this live on LiveSafari from the Djuma Game Reserve in Sabi Sands, South Africa. Yeah, it's a good day. We just got some information from my man in the control room, Alex, who always gives me top temperatures of the day and does all my conversions for me, because my older brain doesn't convert pounds to kilograms and all that sort of stuff, Fahrenheit to Celsius. But he's given me some great information now. He's just done a bit of a tally from tweets and emails, and he says that 90 to 95% of you watching would like us to stay. So I'm really happy with that, folks. Absolutely no problem. We'll sit here and watch this beautiful scene unfold in front of our very eyes live, and just watch what happens now. Little guy is getting his strength and definitely hungry. He's giving his mum's food supply a bit of a nudge there. What a great privilege that was. He really wants to have a bit more of a feed. She wants to teach him to oh no, she's going to lie down, and she's probably a little bit tuckered out after that, a little bit tired. He's just gone behind the vegetation here, but he'll find his feet. And there he is. He's starting to have a little frolic around just now and staying very, very close to his mum. So they average about 19 kilograms, or just under 20 kilograms when they're born, and that's about 45 pounds around there, just to give you an indicator of their birth weight. And that's a pretty healthy size, isn't it? So if you can just get a bit of an indication from that, just on the average birth weight when they're born. And when, if you think about it like this, she's doing a beautiful bit of grooming now and cleaning him up, licking him. It's a real bonding session that's going on at the moment. She has to imprint that calf on, her calf on herself, and make sure that bond is very, very tight. She'll do that over the next few days. But the interesting thing, I suppose, if you compare it to their adult weight, an adult male can get up to about 100 and... Oh, sorry, more than that. About 10, 15 times. I'm thinking about... It's about 300, just under 300 kilograms for an adult male. So they probably get to about 15 times that size. I'm just trying to convert that for you folks, I'm sorry, in my head. 300 kilo, 300, just about, am I going to have a guess at about 570 pounds or something like that? About 570 pounds, they get about 280 kilograms. Okay, I'm going to get my team in the control room to do it for me. So let's convert about 270 kilograms is about an average weight. I know that for a fact, but I can't do the conversion in my head. Okay. Okay, okay, the guys, the wonderful team in the control room have just converted my 270 kilograms to 595 pounds, and they've given me the decimal points also to be a bit cheeky, but I'm not going to remember the decimal points. But Will and Alex and Graham and Pete in the control room are bringing you these wonderful pictures this morning. But thank you for the conversion, guys. I can remember the kilograms, but the conversions on the pounds always stump me sometimes. I'm a simple man, but yeah, the old mathematics when you're trying to watch something like this goes right out the door. So yeah, he'll grow about, if he's a male, he could get up to about 15 or just 14 times that size and weight, not size but weight. They're pretty incredible. There's my friend Peter. Look at him just walking there. Look at that. That's only about 12 minutes old, and he's walking that beautifully. Absolutely incredible, folks. We just got a message from Judy in Ottawa. Thank you so much, Judy. That's very, very kind words, and I'll yell that out to VM now. VM, Judy from Ottawa is saying thank you for the wonderful photography this morning. So that's great. Yeah, absolutely beautifully shot, mate. So congratulations on that. It was really lucky to be in here. And I have to say, right from the beginning, my eyes in the sky, VM actually spotted that this morning. I'm busy making sure everything's ready to when I get the message from control that we're live, and VM spotted this wildebeest in the frame with that amniotic sac protruding. So hats off to him. If it wasn't for that, we might not have seen it. So I might sit in front of the camera, folks, and do all the talking and carry on, but VM is just as important part of this program and this project, as is Brian, and Brian for Pete. We couldn't do without these guys, and absolutely hats off to you guys always for that. Right, well, I'm going to cross over to Pete because I think that there's no better moment, seeing as they're staring right down the barrel at us at the moment of their camera, and say hi to them, and great that he's here as well. Let's cross to Pete. We'll be back just now.
Guys, what an amazing morning. HT and VM will be having big smiles, and even just to see a tiny little calf like this minutes after birth, it's such a rare treat. Tiny little guy, and I think it's always incredible how they can go from being born to this already. A little bit wobbly legs, but standing up, and before the end of the day will be running a bit. It's always funny, they almost run better than they can walk in the beginning. Look at that already. And what an amazing experience to share, and what a incredible thing to experience with people from around the world all at the same time live is something very special and dare say unique. Oh, shame. All those instincts kicking in, wanting to walk, wanting to move, also looking for milk to suckle. And then of course, very importantly, that bonding period, mother and calf really getting and staying close together. Quite soon there'll be lots of other calves, and the mother and calf will know each other from sight to an extent, but smell and hearing, very, very important part with the mother-calf relationship, and especially these first few hours, very important part of the bonding as well, so that they will know each other even in the potentially crazy rush of all the animals moving together. When you've got 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, go to certain parts of Africa, you can have thousands of wildebeests moving together. So this is a very important bonding period as well. Well, I'm enjoying this great view and also seeing HT and VM in the background. They've had a wonderful time with us. Just getting word from the control room there that we're going to go out in the open and look for names, meaning all of you can take part in this. If there are any, oh, here's another little one coming over. So, hello. Is this the one that's been playing so much, Brian, you think?
Well, maybe.
This one has been giving us great entertainment, chasing impala around and all kinds of things. Now he's got a little friend to play with. So yes, if you guys want to get involved, if there's a few names to be suggested, let us know. You can email it to questions@WildEarth, or you can tweet it to #SafariLive. Oh. Moving the legs constantly for balance. Just the guys you can see there in the background is the fantastic hosts of Voyatella Lodge. It's Candace and Mike there. They've been great with us and for us in terms of helping us and being welcoming to us, and also running a beautiful lodge. And I'm sure they're appreciating this as much as all of us. I think we're probably going to get many name suggestions, so I think we should join it. Brian, any ideas? What would you like to call it? Let's throw one in the pot and see what comes out the hat.
Wildy.
Wildy. Yeah, Wildy is a it's one that I'm sure might come to mind for one or two people. I like the name Wildy.
Wildy the Wildebeest.
Remember back in the day you got those like not cartoons but those little sketches of Wally. We had to find Wally in the audience or in a different scenes, and you had to find this little Wally guy. And like, where's Wildy? Hey, see if I've got a fright there for something. Sure, we're going to get lots of suggestions, and I would want to suggest a name that we'll have to run past HT. But since HT and VM had a great morning with us. Let me see with HT what he thinks. Standing by. VM the Wildebeest. That's actually a very nice suggestion. That's HT on the radio there. Okay, brilliant. We were just talking about a few names, and Wildy came up, but I like VM. VM the Wildebeest. What do you think of that, Brian? Yeah, I think VM. I mean, I can feel it actually. I know that name's going to get stuck. It will stick. I'm listening to HT as well. Yeah, but I think it could even work the other way. But no, that one. I mean, I can hear it in the world buzzing. I think that one's going to hold. Well, feel free to send more suggestions, but I think let's see how many people agree with VM. Let's see how many mails we can get to agree with, or sort of think that VM is the right name. I like it. How do you spell VM? W-I-U-M. Well, I think that's going to be the one. VM the Wildebeest. Brilliant. Well, guys, what an exciting morning. What a very special, what an intimate thing to experience as well. Always exciting seeing new life come into the world. You're going to sit here a little bit more and see how this little guy adjusts to having 4 feet on the ground. HG's going to go look around a little bit, see if we can find that hippo again. Just to follow up and see what's happening there. But very, very special to see this little guy adjusting to his surroundings, getting used to the other wildebeest. He's going to have a very exciting day ahead of him. And that's VM, guys, in case you've maybe just joined us, or we're talking about VM is sitting there behind HG on the vehicle. He's manning the camera, and he also spotted this female this morning, so quite the spotter. Getting another drink. The first 24 or 48 hours are probably the most crucial for these young ones. First little sort of the first window of life after birth is very crucial for these youngsters, especially this one is only the third one in this herd. You know, once there's many of them and many calves, then the sheer numbers will be safety in itself. But that's why moving around, being active, getting your coordination, so that if you need to change ground, if you need to run away with the adults, it's very important. And that's why it's good to see this guy being so active. There's also lots of the things that could attract potential interest to this area. I mean, the good thing here is it is already almost 8 o'clock in the morning. It's getting quite warm, so your predators in general won't be as active now. So the likelihood of lions or leopard, or for that matter even wild dogs or hyenas finding this now is getting less and less likely as the morning progresses. And then here towards evening time, that calf's already had 12 hours or so to adjust to its surroundings. Sandy's asking, speaking of things that could attract attention, how long does it take for that placenta to sort of, all of it to fall out and for the cow to be rid of it, or for the female to be rid of it? That obviously is something that could attract attention, the smell of it. And that can be anything from a few minutes to, and I've not seen many births myself, like almost all of us here, so it's a very special thing to not only observe, but there are obviously variations within it. I would say anything from minutes to a couple of hours potentially. But that should all be, you know, the main bulk of it should be gone in the next hour or two, and then there will still be small amounts of afterbirth and so on being expelled over the next few days even. You notice how that little guy just stays very close to mum the whole time, really literally shadowing her. Another female coming over just to give a sniff. The rest of the herd will now slowly start getting used to this calf as well, getting used to its scent. See more and more of them moving into the shadow now as well. There's a nice big marula tree off to the eastern side from them, so a bit of shade. The sun is heating up. go a touch closer. Right? Get a bit of a close look at this little guy. Also, they are with the herd now, so they'll be feeling slightly more secure. You don't want to get too close to them during the early sensitive time. I saw the way HG was looking at them earlier as well. Very, very careful, very aware. Hello Patty. Patty from Washington State joining us for the drive and with an excellent question.
Yeah.
Don't know if it sounded like that little guy's, maybe it's first loud call. Patty's just asking, how will we recognize this little guy from the other ones over the next few days? That's an excellent question, Patty, because I don't really have an answer for you. You know, sometimes you can be very lucky that the female maybe has specific markings, you know, like a horn tip that's broken or a scar or something on the shoulder. And we'll take a very careful look to see if we can find something like that. I mean, ideally we'd find something to recognize the female from. Okay, well, try and have another look at that. These guys all moving along, maybe down towards the waterhole actually. You can see it's like a herd decision. They decided to move along. We'll just mention there that you could notice a bit of a dimple near the tail earlier on this female. Oh, here's another one. Is this one starting? Brian, have a look here at the far left, the one with the funny horn. Looks like she might be starting. That's a bit of the center starting to come out. And that's the female. We've seen her a few days. She looks almost like a black wildebeest because she's got that dropped horn. Oh, let me see. Mike's calling me. Standing by. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, we just got caught that as well. That one with the funny horn. Well, that was a very serendipitous question from you, Patty. As we were speaking about recognizing them, we're going to have a look and see if we can find a recognition mark of some sorts on VM's mother, because that'll be the best way to recognize the calf, would be from the mother. But then we have a second female now, and I think we're obviously going to stick with this. Just give her some space. But the female walking in the back, and she's got a very funny horn. Her right hand horn is sort of dropped down like that, so we'd easily be able to recognize her in future. And she's starting to give birth, so this might be the second live birth for one day. So we'll try and get us in the road here, Brian, so we're a bit more even. Amazing. Yeah, there she starts, guys. We're gonna. Yeah, there's a very democratic opportunities here, Brian. She's just laying down. We're gonna stay right where we are. She is in some shade there. Noticed this female yesterday as well. She's maybe somewhere along the line. I mean, females don't really fight, so it would be interesting to know how she broke that horn. Maybe in a little bit of a tussle, or maybe in the confusion running away from lions at some stage into a tree or something like that. There's the feet. Guys, this is happening really fast now. This is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, she obviously wants to stick with the herd. Again, we've got to be careful to give her proper space, but she's not concerned by us. Gee, like what's going on here? Yo, but look at all these zebra. What is going on here?
They're all going to watch.
Yeah, there's lots of excitement around here. No alarm calls from the zebra, so I don't know what that was about, but storming through here, dust everywhere. That is like they're just catching up. They're like, whoa, the wildebeest left. Come on, guys. We need numbers around us. Yeah, there we got him. Get us into a good position here. We've got a beautiful backdrop as well, looking towards the eastern horizon. Try and preempt where she's going, so you don't have to move too much. Thank you, Will. A lot to be learned from the experience only in the last hour or two from the first birth. It's almost like that, Brian. The zebra. Like they just want to stay close to what's happening here. Will just saying that she might lie down again, having watched the earlier one, and the contractions become quite strong. I just want to see if she does. We might move a little bit. Brian, shall I go a little bit forward? I'm going to try and just get these sticks out of the foreground. So just inch forward a foot or two. How amazing is this? It's a youngster, not necessarily, but potentially a calf from last year, maybe even from the same female. That wildebeest is about a year old. You can hear a lot of alarm calls from a squirrel in the background. Now it might just be something small. There is an eagle flying around above us, probably from that. So I don't think there's anything for this wildebeest to worry about. Yeah, there's the contractions. Yo, it's coming out. Very difficult. She's got a little bit of those sort of shrubbery on the backside of the wildebeest, so we can't really see there. But you can see the body mass coming out now. Amazing. zebra just grazing in the background. There's impala close by, more wildebeest. Incredible to think that, I was going to say dramas like this, and it's dramatic in a good way, in a beautiful way. Dramas like this are playing themselves out over Africa, so many places right at this moment. Life and death and all the different things that goes with it. It's such a special treat to be witness to it, to share one of those moments. To experience it, to hear the wind, to see that life also goes on. Those zebras in the back grazing along, tail swishing for the flies. To see exactly what's going on just because of that bit of cover. No, it's still only the legs, so I thought earlier it looked like there was a bit more of the body of the calf coming out, but I see now it's still just the legs, a bit more than earlier. Resting a bit. I mean, this must be exhausting. Until the next set of contractions come again. Zebras is moving along a little bit. The wildebeest have all stopped now, pretty much settling down around. You can see a few of them lying down. Little VM, who's now about an hour or so old, still close to his mum. Just took a deep breath. There's another one. I think this is maybe another set of contractions sitting on. Brian, I'm just wondering, maybe let's just give it a second. I might just try and move us slightly in a better position. Just now I thought it was going to happen any minute, but I think we've got a little bit of time. What do you think? Are you happy with the shot?
That's fine.
Right. Then we stay put. Turning around a little bit, get pressure on the other side of her body now. You can clearly see that sort of odd angled horn of hers. Looks like it's been like that for a long time, so no concern to her whatsoever, other than that it makes it easy to recognize her. Udder's looking full of milk, so she's ready for this little guy to be in the world. Yeah, there's more coming out. I'm struggling to see. It's the feet and I think the head coming out. If I can can you see there, Brian? Looks like the legs and the front of the face is coming out, but this is a mature female, so this is definitely not her first calf. She's had a number of calves in her life, so she does have the experience of it. Yep, that looked like the head to me. Another set of contractions. You can see the deep breathing. There's any minute now. I mean, this could take a while still, but it could also just suddenly be over. There's one last final push and another wildebeest joins the world. Oh, here we go. The wildebeest in the front, but I can see the whole placenta out suddenly, and I can see movement as well, so the calf is definitely alive. You see the front leg kicking. There's the head coming through. You see there through the legs of the one in front. You can see in the background the female looks suddenly more relaxed as well, so I think the sort of one of the, yeah, there we go, lots of kicking. There's the head shaking. He's got his head out of the placenta. The ears are shaking, sucking in that oxygen. Awesome. Hey, there they go. Hey, little guy. There we go. Totally out. The back legs just slid out. There's the head shaking. Mum's going to stand up probably any minute. Hey, number 2 for the morning. I think the one foot is still inside, but that'll come out as soon as she moves. Morning, morning. Shaking the head. So much to take in suddenly. Now within the next minutes, literally seconds even, he'll stand up. Very important, get that first leg under your body, get on your wobbly legs, figure out gravity, figure out movement, essential to behavior, or to survival, sorry. Hey, hello little guy, come on, you can do it. She might nudge him along a little bit, say, come on buddy, you can do it. Hello. Already another one coming over to greet the new arrival. There we go. Come on, get those legs under you. Yes, yes. Oh, the first steps. Amazing to see this as it happens. Come on, you can do it one more time. Amazing to think that up until minutes ago, an hour ago, 2 hours ago, this female was still able to walk and run around. This fully developed little guy inside her. Poor little girl. Just like that. Give birth out in the literally wild places of Africa. Oh yeah, almost. Long gangly legs. There we go, there we go. Oh, almost. Front legs under him. Yeah, no, shake the head a little bit. Don't worry, you'll get there. Another try, maybe lean up against mum for support. Anything for a bit of balance. Amazing, that instinctive urge, that instinctive drive to want to get up, to want to move. A little bit of rest, regroup. For mum as well, she's just been through giving birth. Oh, there we go, he's going to try again, he's going to try again, yes. Come on, yes, yes. Oh, yes. And Craig and his guests join us as well. Another vehicle off to our right, you'll hear them now and again. The oohs and the ahs. Everyone's attention invest in this little guy's success. All wanting to, yes, oh, almost, almost, almost. Yeah, back legs up first. Just a matter of time now. Every attempt he's getting better at it, he's figuring out more how it works. Keep in mind, we've only got 2 legs to figure out. It takes us about anything from 9 months to 12, 14 months to get it right. This guy, minutes later with 4 legs. Hey, hey, there we go. There's the new baby as well. Look at that. There's VM. There's VM. Hey buddy, I know what you're going through. I did that like half an hour ago. That's awesome. Yeah, I do think that's the obvious name for this guy. Brian, would you mind having a wildebeest named after you?
I'd love to have a wildebeest.
Okay, VM and Brian. VM and Brian, the wildebeest twins. Well, half twins. They would actually be half brothers or half sisters. Obviously different mothers, that's clear, we've seen that this morning. But almost certainly the same father. if you've maybe just joined us and you missed the earlier part of the morning, we had an incredible morning. HT and VM spotted a female about to give birth, Wildebeest. Experienced the whole birth live with everyone joining. And then when we came to have a look and enjoy and see it as well, we spotted the second female starting as well. So 2 live births this morning, both of them alive as well, which is great, both of them healthy. And the names we're saying here is VM is the cameraman with HT on the vehicle that spotted and filmed the first one, and Brian is I refer to him often as the 6'4" man on the back, quite a tall guy, and he's been showing and sharing with you this birth. So Brian and VM, the 2 wildebeest. And Paddy, you were asking earlier how we recognize them. We're going to keep a close look at that female, a dimple on the backside. I think we can recognize that again. Looks like maybe from an old scar. Hey! And this one, Brian's mum, you can easily recognize because she's got a, luckily for us, very peculiar horn that you can see nicely there. There we go, there we go. So we will be able to track these 2 over the next while. Look at the wobbly legs. Oh, there we go, first sip of milk. Oh, or at least trying for it. Shame he's a bit cold as well. He's still wet from afterbirth and the blood. And the wind is obviously cooling him down, but I'm sure he'll be fine. It is not that cold, it's just the wind itself. So it'll dry off quite quickly, get some warm milk in him, and then quite soon he'll be hopping around and getting blood circulating into those young muscles of his. For interest's sake, from the question earlier, VM's mum has still got a bit of the placenta dangling out, which should drop out somewhere in the next while, whereas this adult female, the one we're watching now, Brian's mum, seems to be all out already. It came out with a sort of initial birth. Oh, shame. He's cold. That's a whole lot of things to figure out suddenly. One minute you're in this cozy, warm, subdued sounds, sort of floating environment, still inside your mum, being carried around, in some ways almost weightless. And then the next minute, there's this bright African sun shining down on you, there's wind blowing you and you're getting cold. You've got 4 legs to figure out what they're for firstly, secondly how to use them. All these instinctive responses coursing through you. Get up and move, drink something, bond with your mother, all these things going on. Amazing. Beautiful. If you notice, our mum really keeps a close eye on him. Smelling him, looking at him. See, he doesn't even know yet, and keep in mind, I didn't actually pay attention to the time, but we're talking less than 20 minutes since the birth, probably about 10 or 15 minutes. I've lost track of time a bit in the moment of this. But he instinctively knows that he must suckle. He instinctively knows that that's where sustenance is going to come from. Doesn't know where it is yet, but there it is, there it is. He's going to find it any second now. If he's in the right place, I just have to find where it is. If you can see the nose smelling feeling the lips, looking. Oh, little guy, almost there. There we go. I'm just nudging him in the right direction. There we go, there we go. He's got the... Oh. He's got it narrowed down now to the belly area, to the... There we go. I think that's actually, he's found the teat. Mum quite close to him. Yes. He's having his first good drink. Happy days. Yeah, he's still trying the front just in case there's maybe, who knows, different flavors. But he's found the milk, he's found where it is. That's the next important step. So from birth, healthy baby, first key. Second key, get on your legs, get moving. He's done that perfectly. Mum's been very patient with him. They've been bonding. She's been smelling him and him her. And the next key aspect is get milk. The mum is very healthy. When she was busy giving birth earlier, we could see the udder at one stage. Lots of milk there, so no concern for him. He's got a healthy mum with lots of food, lots of milk for him. She will still be quite tired from that. Even though animals in the wild give birth much easier than humans, for instance, it's still an exhausting process. She's up again, had a little rest. There we go. You can already see the coat starting to dry out. Brian and VM. The first one, because we saw both.
Okay, now past the
Yeah.
I've got to get you on the radio, but it's didn't quite happen.
Hey, look at those legs. Hello, Jane. Jane out of Colorado is just asking about colostrum, whether there is colostrum and whether it's sort of after the birth or before the birth. Colostrum is sort of a highly nutritious pre-milk almost, if you want it. It's not actually the milk itself. And Jane, to be honest, I don't know about wildebeest specifically, but I do know about mammals, more specifically humans, and more specifically recently as well personally. So colostrum appears in humans quite a while before birth, weeks, actually even months before birth. It does start being there, if you want. Obviously once birth happens and once you have all the chemical inputs of the birth itself, and for the mother the colostrum production will go up, and again, how long it lasts after birth, I'm not sure. It might be some days or some weeks. But the colostrum would have been there, I would guess, from comparison to human behavior, would have been there already before the birth. So it's available there immediately as soon as the little calf's born. And that gives him all kinds of nutrients, and antibodies is a very big part of it as well. A very important part of the feeding process. And again, like humans, I might even think that the milk itself will change a slight variation in the composition over the next few months, and even over a feed. In other words, your milk in the beginning of a feeding until when the milk is almost finished can vary. Your protein content can vary as the milk sort of empties out of the udder. I wish Leishan was here. She could give you the exact details of it. I'm just talking about what I had explained from her in a very layman's kind of way. Leishan's my wife, and we've got a little boy at home, so we've been reading a lot about mammal babies, more specifically the humankind, but there's a lot of comparisons. The main massive difference here, of course, is that this little guy is born what's called precocial, so the development happens to a large extent before birth, so that the little guy or girl can get up and be doing what we've just witnessed, moving around within minutes of birth. And that's very important for plains game, any animals really, that are on the prey side of the food chain in the bush. This little wildebeest needs to be able to move and run with the herd almost instantly after birth. Other species like lions or humans, for an example. Here we go, dapper little dude. Other species are born artificially. So things like a human baby or a lion baby can be kept safe by the adults for a few days or weeks or months, even in the case of humans, a few years before they can look after themselves physically. So that's a big difference, but the rest of the mammal behavior would be similar. Yes, we have some more questions. Great. That's little VM and Brian there. Now these two would know each other a little bit better than maybe some of the other calves would, just because they were born less than an hour from each other. Oh, look at that. That's just so cool. Robin's just asking if we have any updates on that hippo from yesterday. Robin, no, so far not. It's not in Treehouse Dam. We've checked it early on. HD went back there again to have a look when he moved on. So he might have moved during the course of last night. Hippos do. They feed mainly at night, and maybe found another waterhole. We'll keep an eye out and an ear out as well. If not on our area, some of the neighboring lodges, the guides might find him and give us an update. So if we have further news, we'll let everyone know. But what a special morning. Over the next few minutes, hours and days, there's obviously going to be various progressions for these animals, for the little babies specifically. You know, for now, about this time, summertime, which is a great time for it because there's a fair amount of food around and water, and the conditions, the resources are good, so it gives the best opportunity for the mother to be in good condition, which then gives the calf the best opportunity to grow and survive. But they obviously need to, you know, go through the different other routines, mating season and so forth as well, in order to have this routine. And I forgot the exact gestation for wildebeest, but it's probably around 7.5 for them. So they have the little ones. 4 months later, the mother will start sort of just pushing the little one away a little bit, and also the milk will just subside because hormonally she will change as she goes into the mating season. Won't be any milk. The little guy is big enough to eat grass, and it's a very natural process that just sort of flows. It's not a dramatic sort of one morning she wakes up and says, that's it, no more milk for you, we're taking the bottle away. It's not like that at all. It's a very natural progression of both mother and calf. Mating season, and then she carries the next one again until next year around about this time. Hopefully we'll be here to witness something as miraculous and as special as this again. Awesome. Hoping H2 will make his way back here. It's been a wildebeest morning. There's little Brian again. VM has just moved slightly to the back. Glad to see he's not shaking anymore. I was feeling so sorry for him earlier, shaking like a leaf literally with the wind blowing him, sort of cooling him down. I do have to just share something about Brian, which I'm sure you won't mind that I share. And I'm talking about the original Brian. Is Brian also gets cool quite quickly. He got a jacket handy in the evening, so I did think there was a little bit of correlation there. This little guy being cool in the wind. There we can see both the newborns standing almost close together. Fantastic. Will just letting us know HT is on his way, so we will be able to spend a bit of time together looking at these guys. Call on the radio quickly. HT again. Yeah, Hayden, we're not far from where we were earlier, and if you take that little track, the way you're coming up now, just straight over, sort of past the rain shelter area, you'll see us off to the right hand side. Both Brian and VM are standing close together here. Okay, see you now. Giving a few calls there as well. I don't know if you can hear that. Great, so you could just hear that. Also important, Mum will recognize that call, so him and Mum will recognize each other's calls, obviously smells, and I'm sure also recognize each other physically, visually. I'm sure in Wildebeests look at us, we all look the same to them. I'm sure amongst themselves they can recognize each other. Also with Wildebeests you do get your core herds or your core groups. The males aren't permanently with the herd, so it's not like zebra where you've got a stallion and a fixed harem of females that move around together. With wildebeest you get your breeding herds and then you get your bulls that are territorial, so they each have an area. Depending on how good that area is in terms of resources, grazing, openness, in terms of safety, water access, the better the bull, the better the areas that he has, the more often he will attract females there. So within a herd like this, it is not impossible, in fact it's quite likely that there might be a couple of different bulls that have fathered youngsters. Not too many, because a good bull in a good area will keep on herd with him often for quite a few or even many days. So these two little guys, two young wildebeests that we saw born this morning, the fact that they will be brothers or sisters to each other is very, very likely. Or what I mean, half brother, half sister. Because if they're born so close together, they would have been conceived also possibly within the same day or two of each other, which means they would have been with the same territorial bull. That's a bit of a long explanation, but to give you the idea that this is a group that know each other well, coming back to being able to recognize each other visually, but also from sound and from smell. But the bull that's with the herd is not necessarily the bull that will be with the herd all the time. Text again. Sorry for I see my radio was turned down. You can just pull in him for both my pimpons are just in the shade of the trees here. Literally every passing second he's getting better at moving around and more balanced. But still a ways to go before he can run at full speed through the bush. Although funny enough, I always say that they actually run better than they walk right in the beginning. The walking you need to be more balanced, for once you run, that sort of momentum or the inertia keeps you going. So they, if need be, if he needs to run now, he will run and he will stay close to mum. Almost on pure instinct then. I always find that amazing. Instinct. Interesting word. Interesting energy that it describes. I'm trying to think, how do you describe what instinct describes? But it's amazing to think that there is this genetic knowledge almost built into the very DNA strands, if you want, of that animal, to want to move, to want to stand, to suck in that first breath, close your eyes if the light is too bright. All these instinctive and reflexive, or reflexive, Brian? Reflect as a reflex?
Yep.
You know what I mean. Instinctive behavior and behavior which are reflexes. I just always find that amazing. Something I don't understand much of. But over the last many years I have learned a little bit more about the amazing codes and information that is kept in the very building blocks of life. I'm not smart enough for that. You need the really big brains like that. But Leishan has told me and explained some of it to me. She's a geneticist by background and PhD specifically in genetic engineering. It's phenomenal to think that all this information evolving over thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years even, can get passed on from one generation to the next. You get your learned behavior, that'll come later. I find it incredible the things that life just knows. Thomas, Dixon, morning guys, how's it going? Yeah? See you later, cheers guys. It's a game drive vehicle from Wojtyla coming past. I still see them bright redder than umbilical cord. Question all the way out of Brooklyn, and I presume the surname is Lev, N Lev. Always nice to have a first name. Just asking if one mom will allow another calf to suckle from her, to drink milk from, so one cow giving milk to a calf that's not her offspring. Not likely, so I'm just trying to think how to address you, Mr. Lev or Mrs. Lev. But it's not that likely with wildebeest. It's called allosuckling, what you're referring to. In other words, where different females will allow different offspring from the same family or group unit to suckle from them, and that's something that you find, for instance, with lions quite commonly. So it does exist. You do find it in nature, normally in sort of small, highly social groups. With wildebeest, I would think not. I'm sure it has happened. I mean, keep in mind, you know, thousands of wildebeest over thousands of years. I'm sure those kind of things have happened. And I would also think that it would likely happen in special circumstances. What I mean with that, in this herd, for instance, there is a female that had lost her calf only a couple of days ago to a leopard. And it was very sad to see her looking for that calf for the next day or two. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that female, so soon after that, I mean, she would eventually not have milk, but this is only a couple of days later. It might be that she would allow another calf to suckle from her if that opportunity came, and more so perhaps if there was another female that had a calf that got injured or eaten by a lion, you know, something dramatic like that, and suddenly you have a calf with no mum, and you have a mum that has milk with no calf. Now, a scenario like that, I think you might find, you know, sort of extraordinary circumstances might have something like that happen. But I think in general, wildebeest would want to focus all their efforts and all their energy effectively. In other words, the food they eat, the effort they put in to get the food, and turning that food into milk, they would want to focus that on their own calves. That's interesting, actually. That calf there now, that's Brian, but he is with VM's mum. And he was actually sniffing there, trying to get to her milk. Now, this exactly answers your question from earlier. Now, the other female is not being aggressive, but giving a little bit of a nudge of the horns, saying, wait, you're at the wrong place here. But it wasn't a severe sort of get rid of, you know, chasing him off. Here's H, and them arriving as well. Alright, you can just hear the little call there from the youngster. Hello!
Hi, mate.
How's it going?
Hi, folks. What a morning, eh?
Amazing, amazing morning.
Incredible stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, Brian and VM.
Brian and Bia, welcome to the world.
And it's been quite a morning.
I'm going to have to try and get closer, mate.
Yeah, if you want to move around that side.
No,
They've actually just started moving now as well. Both of them are sort of moving around. Well, let me move. Let's do a little thing like this. Move slightly. Actually, going to reverse in, and I'll come park next to you, so we have the wildebeest in the background. A couple of minutes. This is called the Land Rover dance. You can go a bit more. So we just a dead tree in front of the wildebeest.
Oh.
You go like.
How's that shot
There
for
we
you,
go. I
Brian?
think that's
Better, mate?
That's good.
We gave find a big tree in the way there, didn't we? Wow, what an incredible morning, folks, eh?
That's good stuff, huh?
Right? I'm really excited about that. That was just an opportunity to see something magical, and we've seen lots of magical things in the past few weeks, but that one's got to be right at the top of the list.
Again, like with the wild dogs the other day, I was saying earlier, I mean, you could spend many years doing this every day,
Yeah.
and never see it, never mind twice. So yeah, no, that's what it's about, is experiencing these magical moments in the bush.
And I said to everyone watching before, Pete, about you have to pinch yourself sometimes, don't you? Because I've done documentaries before like this where you'll film some incredible stuff and then you take it back to, you know, an edit suite and you make up this beautiful documentary, but which are all fantastic as well. But this reality of bringing it to people live as it's happening, right from South Africa into their living rooms or into their. Yesterday it was a hairdressing salon.
Yeah, it was quite cool.
And it's just incredible where people can watch this on their own devices. It's a fantastic thing.
Beautiful thing to share. I tend to think of it more and more, even that that people actually join us here, so that we can bring people out of the salon into the bush, and right into this space with us. So
look at that little guy there.
There we go. That's Brian.
That's Brian. How are we going to recognise these guys? That's my worry. Tomorrow morning when we come out and we try and recognise Brian and it's not VM, it's Wildebeests.
Wildebeests, all right. Well, Brian's mum, luckily, and we've got almost no time left. There's Brian with her now. She's got that little funny horn, so we can recognise her easily.
Okay.
She's got like a little sort of low-hanging horn, I think from an injury years ago. So, and then with VM's one, we're just going to have to pay attention. There seems to be a bit of a dimple that you guys have noticed in the back leg, so we're going to have to try and recognise that mum.
Absolutely.
But just for myself quickly, I'm going to let HC say goodbye. He started this morning with the Wildebeest. This was amazing, really awesome as always, and fantastic to be able to share it live with you from wherever in the world you are joining us. And yeah, that was
fantastic, mate. It was one of a morning to remember. Awesome. That's the magic thing, sharing it with our mates here, sharing it with all you, all over the world, and you being on the back of the vehicle with us is a magical, magical thing. So we're going to sign off. We're going to say thank you very, very much for joining us. You can come back and join us this afternoon at about 4 o'clock till 7 o'clock. We'll leave these pictures with you.
Cheers, guys. That was awesome.